Hello, everyone. This is Teri, and Alison is together with me today. Again, we are the Sky Whisperers, and this is our August 2025 edition. Let's call it like that. And we will look at the astrological weather in a way during the month of August. We can say that it's not that as busy as the July, no? What do you say, Alison?
Yeah, no, I think we've got a sort of brief month of calm where we enjoy the summer essentially, I think. And there's a highlight this month with a Jupiter-Venus conjunction, the two benefics coming together. We'll come to that. And so I think, there's potentially this is a nice month, a month to actually just enjoy what's happening, enjoy the world really. Before September when we're back into eclipse season, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And
Mhm.
also I'm thinking that like all the, I mean like that the retrograde planets are building up. It's a period that like more like a slowdown, maybe thinking about the things in the first half of the year, more reflect on the things and then what we did, we didn't do well, maybe what we have to fine tune and everything. I think with all that
Sure.
information that is coming through the retrograde planets in the sky at the moment, it's a bit of rest period, like enjoying the summer with just the sun. In also Leo is like at home, so we can enjoy it. So how does the August start? I mean, I think at the beginning there is not much. Only on the 7th, Mars is going into Libra. Uh,
Actually, just a sec. Well, we're just coming out actually on that the last day of July, aren't we? I'm just looking at the chart there. And we've actually just had the Mercury Sun conjunction, which might have been a highlight moment because I do think that this Mercury retrograde period in Leo and with the Sun in Leo at the same time has potentially been about rethinking who we are with those and rethinking where we're going with those Neptune and Saturn trines as well in fire, that was sort of all revved up to kind of push us ahead. And then we had the opposition with Pluto. And so I think it's been a period of reflection on who we actually are and how we want to present ourselves. So yeah, as now Mars moving into Libra, that sort of changes the weather a little bit. Not so Mars in Virgo was very solution oriented, a sort of a lot of practical energy. But Mars in Libra is slightly different. How do you take Mars in Libra, Terry?
I have Mars in Libra, so
You have Mars in Libra.
uh,
So how do you find
Libra.
decision making, Terry?
I think, I mean, like, I don't think so that, I mean, like, of course, Libra sometimes is thought to be indecisive. I mean, like, that has difficulty in making decisions, etc. But I think also Mars is thought to be in detriment, what the traditional astrologers will call in exile in Mars, because it's not at home, because Mars is traditionally ruling the Aries and it's in the opposite sign. But I'm thinking that I think that's in a way, Mars in Libra is like a warrior of justice. I mean, in a way, I think if we think about it, I mean, it's like maybe you can be sometimes okay to keep the uh,
Just going to share
peace.
the chart.
You can step back, but sometimes when you think that, oh, no, this is not just, I have to talk about it, and then you just go forward and use all that Martian energy to defend what is right. I think it's in my third house, so I wouldn't step back from what I know what is right. So
Okay, well, that's a
that's a
great
kind of
way
energy.
to look at it.
Yeah.
Shall I just put the chart up here actually,
Yes, yes,
and we
please.
can have a little look at how that pins out. Oh, yeah. Why is that not sharing?
I see it.
You see it. Okay.
So it's a bit small version. I mean,
No, that's
smaller.
not. Let's try
Yeah.
again. Let me just try again actually, and I'll put it
Okay.
here. And that might actually work better. Oh, that's better. Is that better?
Yeah, I can see it just better now. I mean, it's
Yeah,
like,
good. Okay, lovely. So yeah, so Mars in Libra is down here in this chart.
hmm
And of course, so as soon as it goes into Libra, it's going to create that grand trine with these outer planets and oppose
hmm
the Neptune and Saturn opposition. And as you were saying, yeah, Mars in Libra, it can be known for its indecisiveness, but it's also really all about finding balance and about justice and about seeking to make peace as well. I mean, it's a sociable sign, isn't it? It can be really charming as well, I think, Mars in Libra, you know. I'm sure a lot of diplomats must have that aspect in their chart.
Yeah, could be. I mean, that's, yeah, interesting. I mean, like this Grand Trine, it's like an air Grand Trine that we are having here with the outer planets
Yeah.
and everything. So we will have yeah, we have the Pluto, Uranus, and Mars all together and opposing the Saturn and Neptune. I mean, it's in a way, I think, of course, I mean, like, because Libra is a more people's. I mean, like, I mean, you care about the welfare, the wellness of the people as much as yours. I mean, in case of Libra, but I
Hmm.
mean, like, when you look at the areas, it's like it's first me, it's I and we. I mean, like, of course, there is a opposition because when you are fighting for your ideals, you are caring about
Hmm.
like what is it, what are my dreams, what should I do next, what's my strategy, my, and then all of a sudden
Hmm.
Mars is saying that, okay, we have to, think about the other people as well. What about
Yeah.
them? What about what about the right for things? So I think that's the calling for that the balance. When I'm doing for myself, then where do I put the other people on this I mean, like, on the screen, on this perspective? I mean, so in
Yeah.
a way, Mars energy is like saying, like, okay, here I am. Okay, let's find I mean, the midway in a way with the Neptune and Saturn in that sense, and with the trining is nice. I mean, like, right? No, it's like
Yes, definitely.
yeah, it's also, I mean, like, it's a in a way getting together with the collective. I mean, like, Uranus and Pluto are about the, at the end of the day, generational and all about it could be about the society and everything. So at the end of the day, it's making that harmonious aspects with them. It's nice. What do you think?
Yeah, so how are you kind of creating harmony and balance? And it can be about art too, and culture and everything within this society and balancing it with the needs of the individual and the needs of the individual to be assertive. Yeah, so how are you creating a justice system, a partnerships and all that kind of stuff as well, and just on a very personal level, and how are you mixing those up with with the needs of with your personal needs, because I think that access across Aries and Libra is very much about the individual and the couple, isn't it? The relationship as well, which can be friends, it can be a business relationship, but where are you finding the middle ground? And here I think, you've got help from Uranus and Pluto. There's a lot of power in this trine to help us as a society as well, find that balance. So yeah, I think it's an interesting ingress actually, and I think it could bring a lot of positive stuff with
Yeah,
it.
exactly,
So
exactly.
that's great. Yeah, yeah,
So after that, we move on directly to the full moon. Mars will exact the aspect during this time, but we can see everything in the full moon chart of the 9th of August.
yeah.
So there will be a full moon in Aquarius on the 9th of August.
9th of August. What
So
time's that? I can.
let me see from my thing. It's
That's okay.
8
Yeah, I got it.
4:54 UK time, so it should be 9:54 in France.
Yeah. So there we are. There is the full moon across, well, 1659. So pretty much 17 degrees of Aquarius. Yeah, the Aquarius Leo axis, the axis of identity. So it's very much about defining yourself. You know, your Aquarius self within the society. Sorry, your Leo self represented by society, which is the moon. And like all full moons, they're the culmination of this particular cycle. So there's the story about letting something go in order to move on to the next stage. And the whole second half of the lunar cycle is about just disseminating and letting that whatever you've harvested from that full moon just kind of roll out into the world. How do
Yeah.
you see that, Terry?
I mean, with the full moon also, we can also think about, I look at the dates. I mean, I didn't look at this full moon yet, but if we go back probably 18 months before of
Hmm.
this, which would be a new moon in Aquarius that time.
Yeah.
I think in that 18 months before that, we could have started around probably these degrees again, if you have any fixed degrees, fixed placements around this degree. And we could have started something new. Something, I mean, Aquarius, I mean, like it could be something extraordinary. It could be something that is like while it is for the collective, but it could be also something that is like the that contains the kind of out of the box thinking in a way, and then we could have planted some seeds like that, and that's the, in a way, culmination point. And it's a way also to look back that time and see like, oh, okay, how did I start this and where am I now? That's the halfway.
Yeah.
And what happened from that point until this time, and then it's a way of like looking at things and see what helped you so far to
Yeah.
achieve that plants really those seeds grow well, and what hindered you on the way. So
Yeah.
it's a way, I mean, like it's like both continuing and releasing at the same time. And as you said, it's like again that's like me, I mean, my identity and
Hmm.
my approach, I mean, my need for the society, and they are coming together, and you we should find a way harmonize them when we are continuing our way. So I think it's a combination of all this, I think, in this um, full moon chart. But of course we will be seeing again all those interesting Mars connections here as well, right?
Yeah, so and that's interesting what you were saying about the full moon, and you were talking about the moon families theory, which goes back to the previous new moon, and that is an interesting theory which takes you back to a point where when the moon was new around 17 degrees of Aquarius, which would be about 18 months ago. And it's also worth saying that this full moon is very detached. You know, this is Aquarius is perhaps the most detached and the most intellectual of signs, and it's opposing Leo, the most kind of individual and the most heartfelt of signs, the most kind of self-expressive. Leo wants to be in the limelight, whereas the moon in Aquarius is actually like not so worried about the limelight, but just kind of is acting sort of for society, as it were. It's looking at the bigger picture, although it does have its own agenda because you know it is an instinctive process, but it's a detached full moon, this one. It's not full of emotion. It's kind of looking quite coldly, I think, at how things are going. And it it's interesting that the Mars Saturn Neptune opposition is pretty much exact around this time as well. So we've got these two things that we're balancing, the fire and the air. Um, so the heartfelt kind of intuitive going forward with the fire, and then the air, which is much more thoughtful, much more intellectual, much more about the thinking process behind everything. And those are the two things that we're kind of trying trying to come to terms with, if you like. And there's no Earth here in this chart either.
Yes, exactly, exactly. I was just like looking like where is the earth, etc. And yeah, that
So
yeah,
where do we
something.
ground it?
Yeah.
Where do we bring ourselves down? And I think at this time grounding is going to be extremely important, and all those grounding processes that we might sort of go through, the breathing, the yoga, the walking nature, the just kind of digging the garden, if you like, or anything, just to kind of bring ourselves back to the planet and remember where we are and who we are. Mm.
And in traditional way, I think it's also, I mean, like when you look at the modalities, you don't have any mutable thing. We have more
Mm.
like the cardinal and fixed signs here.
Yes,
So in a way, I think it's also we have to be careful not to be too adamant about
too
doing
rigid.
things like
Yeah.
that it's like not being rigid. I mean like not being fixed, or like I go forward but where does it go? I mean it's not
Yes.
like that. And if there is any, I mean we are saying that we have to maybe leave things behind. That's the
Hmm.
thing. I mean we have to have the ability to make that shift and not being fixated on some of the things. If it's not working, we should say okay, let it go. If you
Yeah.
have to change something, you have to change, because since there is no mutability here, then
Hmm.
it may restrict our understanding of adaptability and flexibility, and we should make an effort to put it in our lives. And when it doesn't go, we just have to like let it go or change
Yeah.
it if necessary. I mean, that's, I think, important for this chart.
I think those are really good points. Yes, definitely. So the full moon, that was the full moon. And then as we move on, a couple of days actually, we've got one of the sort of just the really nice highlights of the month. And we can see that
Yeah.
here is Venus is coming up to conjoin with Jupiter. And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, here we've got the two benefics, if you like, the lesser and the greater benefic coming together in the sign of Cancer, which is itself emotional, family oriented, tribal. I mean, very connected to the people it's connected to and the things it's connected to the past, and creative as well. We mustn't forget Cancer is also an imaginative and creative sign. It's ruled by the moon, which is currently in Pisces, giving it yet another layer of its imagination and emotion and creativity. So I think this sort of Monday, Tuesday. It'll go through, probably start over the weekend of the sort of 11th, 12th, 10th, 11th, 12th of August, and it's coming through until the middle of the week with this sort of um, lovely just connection, really, sociable, friendly, but with people perhaps that you already know, or maybe you're taking the family as a global thing and you're kind of incorporating everything and everyone into it, which I think is just a lovely idea. Anyway, something to look forward to there, sort of in the second week of the month, I think.
Yeah, it's nice. I think in the exact day, it was just, I think there is a that as the moon is ruling on the no, on the 11th, I think as the moon is ruling that dispositor of that
Yeah.
conjunction, at the
Mhm.
same time it's just trine. So there is
Trining.
a nice harmony, I mean, with how we feel and how we maybe move forward, what we find meaning. Also, no, it's Jupiter is finding meaning. I mean, meaning in your past, maybe meaning in your family, in your tribe, and everything, and relating to them in a more emotional way. I think that's a nurturing way. So I think it's really very nice. And this trine, I think, is like just marks it. I mean, in a way.
Yes.
So it's really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really
Also, I
good
mean, there is
point.
a mutual reception with the Jupiter and the Moon at the same time. So there is
Really
a
good point, Terry.
extra connection between them. So I think it's really nice. They are like just meant to be there. So if you have
Yeah.
Cancer, wherever you, I mean, if you have no, you have it, but wherever your the cancer in these degrees fall in our charts, it could be, I mean, like it could be about career, it could be about our daily life, it could be about siblings. I mean, wherever it goes in our charts, I think we can have uh, probably, possibly, this nice energy
It's
in our
positive,
life.
isn't it? It's really
Yeah,
positive, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It
And it
is.
is about finding meaning, as you very rightly said. And I think that's lovely. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
Good. Well, I'm looking forward to that already. Um, and actually, on this day, on the 11th, what we didn't mention just then was that Mercury, as we can see here, it's turning from red where it's retrograde and
Oh,
it's
yeah,
turning direct. So it's all together actually adds to the positivity of this kind of
yeah, no,
day of the
exactly.
11th. So yeah, so we've got Mercury, this is going to be great news actually for the Virgos and Pisces with their ascendants, or if you've got Moon or Sun in Virgo and Pisces, sorry, not Pisces, Gemini, because they're ruled by this Mercury. And Virgo and Gemini, they tend to have a lot of mental energy, a lot going on in their lives, and sometimes that can be quite exhausting. It can get them down. So when Mercury is retrograde, that's often a period when they need to retreat a bit. They need to take a little bit of time out. That's what you've been doing, Terry, without your kids
Yeah,
around. And and then once Mercury turns direct, then they hopefully feel rejuvenated and they're ready to start moving forward a little bit. It's not out of the shadow period yet, but they're ready to start making decisions again. And here it's all about self-expression in Leo, about expressing themselves within the collective. So that's
yeah,
really nice too.
exactly, exactly. That's really nice. I think that we can throw away our creative ideas again here and there, etc. I mean, like I'm telling, like it's like normally I sometimes joke a bit. It's because I mean, like what we give the importance that we give to Mercury retrogrades because it's happening so often. I mean,
Sure.
like
Three times a
also, I
year.
mean, it's sometimes I say, oh, legendary Mercury retrograde is coming, but this time, I mean, I was feeling like since the pre-shadow period, it's like there is something not going well with this. And then I was trying to do things just before the Mercury station's retrograde, and I'm like, okay, done. It's like throw done. And then
Yeah.
I said, okay, I will wait during this period, and then yeah, hopefully after 11th of August, things will start moving slowly. And when the I think post shadow period finishes on the 25th of August, then we can be full on power with the Mercury in Leo.
Yeah, I mean, it's not for nothing that you know that these signs are known for their adaptability and their flexibility. That's Virgo and Gemini. And it's not for nothing that they just give out lots of energy and they need these retrogrades, these periods of retreat. It's not easy always to get in the world in general, but they definitely do need these periods. So
Yeah,
yeah, so that's a great day, the 11th, all round, I
yeah.
think.
11th August. Yes, exactly.
And then we sort of move on, really, don't we?
On the
To
12th, there was, yeah, you said Saturn, Uranus, but we can either look at it or it's a collective in any case, more like
Saturn,
a,
Uranus. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
Saturn, Uranus.
it's fine. Yeah, it perfects its sextile there, so that's a workable, manageable energy. I think it'll be more social than individual, but if you've got things around 1 degrees of the cardinal signs or the mutable signs, so mutable, we're looking at Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. And with the cardinals, we've got Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. So if you've got planets around 1 degree, then this sextile could be quite helpful for pulling things together, I think, and giving you some inspiration on the 12th, especially
Yeah,
coming after that Mercury retrograde, which is ruling. Mercury direct, which is ruling the Uranus, dispositing the Uranus.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like because Uranus, I mean, like that the change of mindset, etc., that
Mm,
also goes together with the Mercury in Leo, and all this
true.
can really create a nice that minor great grand trine there, and also I think there is
Yeah,
this mystic rectangle something somewhere going on. Anyway,
yeah.
so I think it can really create a creative energy, I mean, like in our minds and in
Mm.
our way that we act, I mean, in life, I mean, so I think it's really nice. I mean, also 12th of August, I think these are nice days. We don't, I mean, I don't practice election astrology, but looking in
If we
general,
did.
yeah, it's like it's like it looks like these look like nice days, I mean, maybe to do stuff, I mean, it
To
looks like.
plan things, yeah, to plan
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
Okay, brilliant. And then we're looking forward then
The
to the new moon already. Is that?
yes, but no, it's before that. I think we can first go into
Oh,
the
the sun.
Virgo. Yeah,
Yes,
sun moves
sun
into
into
Virgo.
Virgo. Yes,
It's
of
on
course.
the 22nd of
22nd,
August
yeah.
at
22nd.
12,
21, 34.
22:34
Yeah, 22:34. Let's put that
for
into,
you.
yeah. Yes, of course. Yeah, we mustn't miss that ingress. Yes, so the sun just into Virgo here. So moving from that opening, sort of expansive, generous, warm-hearted, but needing the attention as well, needing to be validated, if you like, Leo, into the complete contrast of Virgo, where the sun is much more modest, much more inclined to operate behind the scenes, to really work hard to get things done, very helpful, sort of to do with, happy with routine, happy with daily rituals and things like that, health conscious, often Virgos. And if they don't pay attention to the Mercury retrogrades and take that time out, they can often have people with prominent Virgos in the charts can often have digestive troubles, can't they? Because that rules the digestive, Virgo rules the digestive system.
Yes, that's me. The example, another example of
You're
mine.
not the only one, Terry. I've
Yeah,
met several like that. So
yeah,
interesting, interesting. And
yeah.
it's coming immediately into a square with Uranus, which is going to sort of exacerbate some of that tension, I think, actually. So, but it's a back to school time, isn't it, Virgo, traditionally? I mean, at least, in the in the West, in the Northern Hemisphere, back to school, and that end of September, that end of August feeling, that beginning of September feeling, as people start to prepare for school.
Yeah, here already opens. I think Scotland is a bit early in opening
Yeah.
their schools. They are opening in mid August, and then I think the England and the rest of the place. But I think as a child, I mean, we always have my birthday would always fall in the opening of the school, so it wasn't the best time. I mean, mid-September is like nothing is happening. Everyone is just going back to school, so. That's true. I mean, like it's like going back to school, getting out of summer, getting
Yeah.
ready for the autumn, and etc. That kind of the transition. So you have to be flexible, yeah. Know that all that transition from here, there, etc. I think that that also requires kind of a bit adaptability in that
And
sense
getting
with
back into
the
the routine, I think, actually. And I think, the Virgo sun also kind of just symbolizes that we're really ready for that after the summer. We're kind of done with the most of us, are quite happy to get back into that routine of something, things to do, things that are expected of us. We've had enough of kind of trying to organize our own days. Probably spent too much money over the summer as well, doing all the kinds of things that we enjoy doing. And now we're back to work, essentially. Virgo's a worker, really takes work seriously. So it rules traditionally the sixth house, which is the house of work, the house of every day, the house of just getting on with stuff. Um, I love the sun in Virgo actually. I just find it so useful for getting things done.
Yeah, but for the southern hemisphere, probably for them, it's a different kind of sensation, and they are getting out of this hibernating mode in a way. I think I think they are getting also to the new life, the spring and everything,
Yeah,
like
I guess so.
waking up for them, and I think that's a it's a change of routine also. I mean, like all day, I mean, in winter, like dark times, I mean, dark days, shorter days,
Hmm.
etc. And then they are getting into transitioning to like much longer days and also much light and much better weather, probably.
Yeah,
Sometimes I see people posting from Australia, etc. They are like, ah, we are freezing, etc. And I think in the mountains it can be really cold, so it's also a nice transition for the southern hemisphere people as well. Yeah, that the
that's true.
Virgo works makes the things fun. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And then so the moon is in Leo there, just behind the sun. So that means that, the next day, in fact, we have the new moon, and I will just adjust that so that we get the actual chart up.
And actually, it's interesting to see when you are making the chart. I mean, it's like when you have that balsamic stage, it's really wrapping up, no? That it's like you are just finalizing things with
Yes,
the beginning of the sun ingress, and then after that, it's just new moon, and then it's like let's put ourselves on to work, the routines, and then
mm,
let's start perfecting stuff, whatever it is. Here we go.
yeah, that's really true. And I think, maybe not enough is made of that sort of balsamic phase, that dark of the moon, which is really about letting go and dissolving and, just letting go of the previous cycle, the previous energy that's kind of been happening, just really sort of, just kind of flicking your fingers to release it all so you can sort of move into the new one. And you don't do it with a bang normally, it's a gentle move into the new moon, isn't it? It's a gentle start, that it's the seed growing, and it's not really until it sort of starts, the crescent's really established in the sky, that you can think, okay, I'll start really working with that and seeing what this energy is bringing me. Because initially it's very much an exploratory phase, I think.
Yeah,
See
exactly,
how it goes.
exactly.
Yeah.
And we come to the new moon in Virgo. So what's happening here? I mean, of course, it's we have to bear in mind that it is disposited by the Mercury in Leo at that
Yeah. Yeah.
point. And again,
Hmm.
there is a mutual reception between the Sun and the Mercury in this chart because
Yes.
they are ruling each other's signs, though there
Good
is no
point. Yeah.
real I mean, aspect, but still it's good to see that as well. And there is still like there is with this Saturn and Neptune, I cannot see really well. They are just in the same points, no?
Yeah, I mean Saturn is pretty much making an exact quincunx there actually. And we've got this kite formation here, sort of between Pluto, the sextile of Pluto, Neptune, and Saturn. And then they're both making the quincunx to the new moon. So it's like this finger of fate, it's sometimes called. It's a yod, isn't it? Not a kite, sorry.
Yes, your
A
your.
yod pointing down to that new moon, as if to say, okay, this is a new point here. It's a new starting point. And there's a lot of focus on it, almost as if a lot depends on it. And you already said that Mercury in Leo, how we respond, it's us, Leo, how we respond, how we react to things is important there because it rules not only the new moon, but it's also dispositing and ruling the square to the new moon of Uranus and Gemini there. So Leo's, although it's not very connected to anything, it's an important player, I think, in here, this Mercury Leo.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I think it's like then seeing that connection, especially with the Uranus. I think it could be the case that when we are maybe starting something new, something practical, something that looks very efficient, and it's like this, but
Hmm.
we have to consider if it's like a really in line with the kind of that the change of mindset set that we are doing in another part of our lives. I mean, so we have
Mm.
to really consider that, because they could be at a point clashing with each other, because the with the Virgo, we can say that, okay, that's good, okay, it's in order, okay, like all
Hmm.
perfect, it's nice, good idea. And also with the Mercury in Leo, we can say that, oh, there's a very creative energy, and there's a lot of
Hmm.
potential here, etc. But what about what is going on in another part of our life? Well, the
Yeah.
things that we are trying to change through
Hmm.
Uranus in Gemini, especially at the mental level. So it can be some kind of conflict, and we have to really,
Address it.
yeah, we have to find a way to mitigate the risks that is coming
Yes.
through that
Yeah,
clash
yeah.
in a way. And yeah, like do it in a nice way, and think about it, I think, thoroughly before getting that step forward.
Yeah. Good points. Yes, I agree. So there was only one other thing I think on the 25th that we wanted to talk about in August, wasn't there? Let's just move forward to that. That's just 2 more days there.
That there
Um,
is the Venus Leo. Yeah.
that's right. And there we have Venus moving into Leo. So let's just move that Venus forward. Yep. I don't know what time of day it does that, but it's taking its time. What time of day? Oh, well, I will just keep going with the with the arrows. There we are. Look, it's in Leo now. Great. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So sometime in the evening on the 25th, Venus is moving into Leo, and at the same time, Mercury in Leo is leaving its retrograde shadow. So that's good. So this is Mercury working up to where it gets out of that point at which it went retrograde and it's able to actually move forward. So the revision has really stopped now, I think, and things are moving on. We've still got some of the bigger planets, the slower moving planets retrograde, of course, Saturn, Neptune, Pluto. But Mercury, at least, our personal planet, our personal thinking processes, Zeus's messenger, Jupiter's messenger, is moving forwards. And we're moving forwards with it, hopefully. And Venus in Cancer,
Leo.
uh, sorry, muddle up again. Venus in Leo, yeah, again, it's sort of about bringing the focus on to who we are, isn't it? What are our values? What are we expressing here? How do we relate? I think it's a bit of a hot place for Venus, I always feel, but yeah, it's very definitely about creativity and self-expression always.
Yeah, also I think there is when we are thinking from the shift from Cancer to Leo, and of
Hmm.
course the shift would be from one part of life to the another part of life in
Hmm.
terms of Venus. I think you can see that there is this we are talking, it's ruled by moon now, it will start being ruled by the sun. I mean, this
Yeah,
was by the sun,
yeah,
this
sure.
Venus in Leo, where there is this practical, again, Virgo would be
Hmm.
playing a role as well. And I think that the shift, I mean, like from more like family home oriented kind of relating, or getting those more, I think, sentimental values, I think we can think about, like when
Yeah,
we think
in
about
Cancer.
family,
Yeah.
tribe and everything. And it becomes more like with the Leo, it's like we move into something more glamorous, where the things can show off, and there is like kind of this thing yearning for attention. I mean, that like the way
Yeah,
that
definitely.
we do things, I mean, the way that we relate, or the way that we value stuff. And I think that more shiny it's becoming like that, of course. But there is that, of course, that creative energy, also the authenticity that in the
Yes.
that we do things. It's for the artist, I think. Also, it's about art aesthetics
Mm.
when we think about the Venus. So it can be really important for them as well, I mean, like wherever that affects in their life.
I think the point about authenticity is really important actually with Leo. It's about, isn't it? Yeah, being your authentic self. And as you were saying in Cancer, you can get a bit bogged down in the whole past, the whole the whole tribal background, the whole family, the whole who should I be, who am I in this context kind of feeling. Within the kind of web and the fabric of your past and your background and your ancestors and everything. And then you kind of emerge into Leo, and it is about, okay, well, that is all me and that's all the background, but here I am and this is me. And actually, I might be that, but I'm also something more, something different. And I think that's really highlighted by the fact that when she moves into Leo, she comes immediately into that sextile with Uranus and into the opposition with Pluto. So she's having to confront something, maybe some power struggles to be herself. But she's got, Uranus there helping her in a sense, helping her to kind of stand her ground. And yeah, you can be independent. Uranus is very much about that. You say what you think here.
Yeah,
You don't have to just toe the line. Yeah, it's good.
yeah, yeah. When you were
Especially,
talking, I mean, webs, etc., I was like thinking about like Venus in a like cupboard. It's like all dust, looking at the old pictures, and all of a sudden, like this Venus in Leo, and open the door, and then all with glamour, etc. It's like, here I am, okay, back from the past now. Let's talk now.
yeah, yeah, I think there is something of that. And it kind of reminds me a little bit as well as when you're a parent and you're really kind of in with the family and everything like that, and you're trying to kind of juggle the kids, and you're maybe you've got parents or something or other people that are relying on you in your circle. And then suddenly, for whatever reason, you move out of that. The kids leave home, and then this is me. Okay, who am I then? What's the authentic me? How am I going to be in this world now? What do I think is important? And I think Venus in Leo definitely sort of is asking that. What's important about me? What am I bringing to this party?
Maybe I mean, recreating a relationship with yourself, no? In a
Yeah,
way.
yeah, yeah. That's a great way of putting it. Recreating a relationship with yourself. I might have to write that down. And I think that's pretty much it, actually, for August, isn't it? The next kind of things they all sort of slope off into September, and we'll be talking about that next time.
Yeah, that
I'm
in
gonna stop the
September
sharing now.
is, yeah, in September I think we will be like, yeah, more focused on the eclipses.
Yeah,
There
you're
would be two
really
eclipses.
you really got these eclipses, haven't you? You've been looking at
No,
them for months.
I'm like eclipses, eclipses all the time. Yeah, it's like this. Oh, I think it's September. They would be they would be the highlights. I mean, whether we like it or not. I mean, like those eclipses that is happening during the September, especially for the some of the mutable signs, especially Virgo and Pisces, would be in the
Sure.
spotlight according to the degrees for that. So that would be the highlights. Of course, there would be other things, sign changes, more retrograde
More retrograde.
planets coming up. So I think Uranus would be shifting, and there would be a shift
Yeah,
back to Pisces, etc., with Saturn or Neptune, one of them, as far as I
definitely
remember.
lots to discuss. Definitely lots.
So there would be lots of things to discuss. So for this month, for August, I mean, like I think we could say that let's rest, reflect on, and get ready for the September 2025. So what do you say?
Yeah, definitely. A period of recuperation, a period of just thinking about stuff, working through stuff, thinking about stuff so that you're ready to kind of come again, I think. Yeah, next month. Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can say that, yeah, that thank you for watching the Sky Whispers, and I think we will have some much surprises, maybe some nice interviews coming up in the following months, and we will be informing about that.
Yeah,
But
hope so.
that's it for today. So see you in September 2025 astrology sky, right?
Yeah, see you next month. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.